Page 7, progress, or whatever it is, I don't know. It's etude number 6 in the book. Common time, no sharps or flats. Let's look at this. This is like runs, where the hands are working together, but they're not in octaves. It doesn't really matter. I mean, if you can do a scale, it doesn't matter if your hands are in octaves or in thirds or in sixths or what. You simply do the scale. It works out very nicely. People ask me sometimes, could you cover the scales maybe in thirds and sixths and parallel and that too? And I'm thinking, why? If you can do them in octaves, it's the same fingering, you're just in it, your hands are a slightly different position. I think you'll find it works out very well. At least it did for me. And there's nothing special about my talent, so I'm sure it would work for you too. It's like here at the beginning, we have these, forget the rhythm for a bit, let's just take this. You just have this, it's like the fingering for a C major scale, even though the right hand isn't on C. It's here, here, you're going to use thumb here. It's like if both hands were the thumbs are here, well this is the same thing here, except the right hand just happens to be on an E. Big deal. It's the second measure, same thing here, and again it's just like a C major scale fingering, except your fingers are not necessarily on C. It doesn't matter where the fingers are, and all of these runs here in these first two lines are that same way. And then when you get to the third line, on this contrary motion, this is more of an advanced technique. I do cover this in my scale videos, but for the advanced people where I start asking you to do these in contrary motion as well as parallel. And that's what this is, but C major, it's easy to do because the hands are mirroring each other. It just happens. You're starting here on C's, the first eighth note, and then you play it, thumb, playing the same fingers on each hand at the same time, and that's the easiest thing to do because you can actually just focus on one hand, let the other hand copy it. It just happens. It's wonderful. It looks hard. Oh no, they're going opposite directions. Yeah, that's actually easier in a C scale. Not all scales it is, but in a C scale. Then we go on to this, past this is the last measure, third line. This is tricky here. I recommend first play this legato. It's 2/4. They're saying 2/4, 1/4, 1/5. You want to feel this. I don't agree with this fingering at all, but again, it's an etude, so I'm not going to change the fingering because I would prefer you put your hand in a position and keep it in that position for as long as you can until you have to move it. And that means at the beginning of this, it would be here. And then I would move. I've moved one time. If I were going to play this in a piece, not an etude, but a regular piece, that's how I would finger it. But they don't want that. They want here. They want you to move each time. We're using thumb on the bottom note. Fine, if that's what they want. Ugh. Then in the next line, the left hand gets the same thing. But this isn't quite so bad here. Because here. Once you're in this position, you're fine, but again, I could have done it here. And then thumb. To me, that's much easier than what they're doing, but we'll do what they want to do. And then again, up here, same kind of fingering, different notes. Line. And this last measure, I completely disagree with what they're doing in this last measure. I don't know who did this. The left hand fingering is fine. I like using different fingers on repeated notes. This is good. The problem is the right hand. They want you to do a 5, 4, 3, and a 2 because you've been here. My problem with that is that we got to go back to the top. You see the DC? I don't know why that sign is there. It's there. It doesn't mean anything to me because DC sends you to the top. The sign sends you back to the sign. Well, the sign is at the top. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Somebody ought to explain that to me. The point is, when you finish that last measure, you're going to go back to the top and you need to be here. So we're here. And now we got to go to here. This is a fast piece. I would prefer not to do that. So I'm suggesting you can, the right hand, the left hand's okay because you're ending on a thumb. Because now you can stretch out, depending on how big your hand is. Either, it's not so bad. But this right hand, if we could end on a fifth finger, it would help because the next note at the top is an octave lower. It's so much easier to use that, to reach it from here. So I'm recommending that you finger these last measure there as a 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 2, 3, 4, 5. You get this fingering sometimes. There's no harm in using it. But now you're ready to go on. So it's here. The threes playing together. To me, that's much better and more solid than what they're suggesting in the book. Ugh. Get the fingering down, play this legato, and then we can go back and we can add the articulation. And again, on these runs, for a while at least, put in the accent each one. Like so. If it'll help you, once you get a handle on it, then you feel the accent, you don't force it. But legato here, lift up, so it's a new phrase. And then here is staccato, short staccato. You can use a nice light wrist staccato. Now here, it's not a staccato, it's just lift up. So again, at the beginning of the line, not staccato, pull that out. Now go on, and this is down, up, down, up. There's an accent. They're accenting the offbeats. They're accenting the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and. This last line, good luck with this last line. Because you're doing this, and you're doing something totally different in the left hand. See here. You want to hear silence there, but you're doing this mess in the right hand. Like so. Then when you can do that, you don't have to play it that fast. Just get this articulation worked out and working okay. Add the dynamics. It starts out soft and you're crescendoing up each time. Doesn't tell you how loud to get. You can go to loud if you want, but a moderate loud is fine. And it's both hands here. Come back down now again. Now come back down to soft. And this is the right hand here. The left hand's very soft. Now let's switch it. The left hand's now soft. And then we do that again. And soft. And then go back up to loud. Okay, and then you repeat that. Let's go on. You're loud. All of a sudden you're soft. And that's the right hand, because the left hand's loud. Soft. Now you're going to crescendo up. Now go on up, keep crescendo. crescendoing. I don't know why they give you two crescendos there. You just, I just make it one long crescendo there. Those two measures. And you go back down to soft when you go to. As far as the speed goes, it says fast. It's got to be your fast. It's got to be even. It's got to be controlled, and everything is, you know, don't rush it, because then the runs get off and bleh, it says, so your fast, whatever that is. Okay, then you repeat that. Let's go on here. I hope you get the idea. If there's recordings of this, you can go look them up and find them, but that's my impression of this piece.